Yeah, yeah.
What?
Wait.
Why won't you let me fix your life?
I'm not ready yet, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not ready yet. Like I wanna figure it out. I wanna, you know what I'm saying?
How many children do you want to have, Aiden?
Maybe four. I wanna
How
have
many boys?
four.
How many girls?
I wanna have two boys, two girls. I wanna have four. I wanna have four kids on a farm and raise them in a small town with animals.
That's a good. That's noble. Like Nebraska, small town, or like not that bad.
More like Wisconsin.
Yeah, I understand. Well, that's a noble pursuit. How old do you want to be when you start doing that?
What are you, like, pushing 40 now? So, how many kids do you have?
35. And if you guess the number correctly, I'll tell you.
Two kids?
Two. Fucking two. You think I'm some bitch?
Five kids.
Five. You think I'm some bitch?
10.
Closer. It's
12.
around there. Around there.
Okay, you have kids. Damn, I didn't know that.
Why wouldn't I?
Did they all have different baby mothers?
I mean, not all different, but there's been a few ovens to bake the bread. Women are slow, G. Like, I say this all the time. I'm like, listen, I have no problems having kids with one woman. It's fine. But if you're going to take 9 months to grow a single, simple baby, then you're just messing about. That's your problem.
Come on, bro.
If you'll do it in 2 weeks and get your act together and be faster, then we won't have to do all this. But if you're going to take 9 months and mess about, then I need 20. So, I have no choice but to have four wives as Allah intended. That's why God told us men to have four wives, because they knew we needed large families and that women are slow. Allah understands. God understands. His word is golden for a reason. Do you
I
have
see.
four wives yet?
Nah, I got none.
If you got yourself a nice Islamic wife, she wouldn't cheat on you. She'd cook for you. She'd look after you. She wouldn't have an OnlyFans. Most of the problems you're facing currently with women can be solved by Islam.
Really?
I just told you why.
Wait, they
She
actually
would.
don't cheat?
She'd have decency. She'd cover up. She'd be God fearing. If she missed, her family would also keep an eye on her. So her family would tell her to obey her husband. She'd want your children. She'd look after you. Islamic women are the best. They understand that the best way to serve God is to also serve their husbands.
Where do I get one at?
So most of your problems could be solved through Islam.
Where do I get an Islamic woman at?
You must become a Muslim yourself first, my friend. And being a Muslim is not easy. There's a lot to learn. It's a long journey. Even I'm not a scholar. I'm learning. There's a lot to learn about how it works, and the true word of God and the Quran, and learning Arabic, etc. is not easy. But if you come to Dubai, you can begin the journey and you can talk to the same people I've talked to. And then halas, you get yourself an Islamic wife, and before you know it, you get to live in peace and happiness without worrying about getting plowed on an OnlyFans account. Have you subbed yet and seen what the new man's doing to her?
No.
You don't want to see it?
I'd rather not, bro.
Well, it's a cold world, Aiden.
Will you come to my mitzvah? I'm Jewish. Will you come to my mitzvah?
I did. I'm such a cool guy. Look, I banged this girl just because she has fake tits. It's vapious. It's empty. I don't want to do any of these things, Aiden. I don't want to go. You have to understand. I don't need to
So
do
what?
any
Can
of
I
the
ask you a
shit
question?
I'm
What's
doing.
what is the meaning of life then, bro? Like, what are we here for?
Once you realize that hedonism is a black hole and that you can pour endless attempts at filling it, you can fuck endless girls. There's always a new one to fuck. You can make endless money. There's always new money to make. Hedonism is a black hole. And if you're going to live that way, you're never going to feel satisfied. You have to genuinely decipher, be perspicacious enough to look around you and work out what you think the world needs, and then try your very best to fulfill God's will to make the world a better place. You know what makes me happy? I'll
What?
tell you. I'll walk down the street and I'll see a construction worker here in Dubai who's working for $300 a month, and I'll just hand him a couple thousand dirhams at random. I like walking into the Starbucks and just paying for everyone's drink, just putting down for $500 to say everyone gets coffee. I like I like rescuing the dogs in Romania. I have a charity that rescues dogs in Romania. I like doing things that make me feel good inside because I know it pleases God. I will not, if I go to the club in Miami, top G, top G, top G, yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone says I'm top G. I get some girl. She's really hot. Okay, fine. I fuck her. But unless we make a family one day, there was no point in any of it. It's just degenerate.
It's
And to make a family
pointless.
with a girl from Miami is hard because they don't know how to be mothers anymore. They don't know how to be a good, soft mother and look after the child and look after their man because they're broken
So
people.
who's the best?
So why would I do that? I
What's
don't want
where do
to
you
do that.
where do you find a good mother?
Well, a good mother needs to be a woman who understands that her feminine imperative and her duty is to be a mother. That's her duty to femininity as a whole. It's the most important and beautiful thing a woman can do is be a mother. But a girl who reluctantly becomes a mother or thinks that her career or going to the club or hanging out with her friends is just as important as being a mother is never going to be good at it. You're only good at the things you respect.
And I would say it
Someone
goes
who's going
both
to be a
ways. And if a dad's doing the same thing, going to the club and stuff, it's a bad dad. It's the same thing.
Correct. You need to understand, but it's still slightly different because as a man, you have an imperative to be a father, but you also need to make an imprint on the world so that you're a role model for your children to emulate. Whereas a mother doesn't have to be a role model in the same sense. She has to look after, nurture, care, provide the basics, change diapers, make sure the kid's okay, make sure the kid is happy.
But
But
the
the
dad
father
could change
might
the
have to go.
diaper. The dad could change the diaper too.
I've never changed a diaper in my life.
Okay.
Because the point I'm making is the man goes away to war and comes back with stories of honor and valor to inspire his children. The woman doesn't do that. The woman keeps the children alive while the man's away. So I'm saying that a woman who understands that being a mother is the best thing she could possibly be will be a good mother. Miami girls don't think that. Miami think that girls think that get the most Instagram followers and go to the best club nights matters more. And I don't want to sleep with a woman who I'm not going to have a future and a family with anymore. I don't want to do that. I've slept with thousands of women, Aiden. Thousands of women. You could put them in front of me. I wouldn't be able to remember most of their names. It's bullshit. I did, but it's pointless. Like it was fun at the time. I'm not complaining. I've had more sex than any man could possibly dream of. I had 75 beautiful women working for me. I've done all of it. And I'm not saying it's necessarily inherently bad, but you get to a point where you understand that it's a waste of your energy, is a waste of your masculine imperative. I'll tell you another thing. A lot of men like sleeping with girls because of the ego hit, right? So when you get a lot of these other Twitch streamers who think they're famous, what they actually are, some fucker just lit a lawnmower. Let me look at him and make him go away. Wait. He's leaving. He knows. He doesn't want to smoke. So what happens with a lot of these other Twitch streamers, they're losers, right? And inside their heart, they know they're losers. And they know without the internet, they'd never be anything because they've never achieved anything in the real world. They don't have any real world businesses, any real world achievements. They've never been a champion, nothing. So they're actually very hollow and sad inside. And that's why they need to sleep with girls to try and feel better about themselves and prove to themselves they're actually some kind of man. But here's the thing that's scary. One, they're sleeping with girls that have no value. If you're sleeping with a girl who's valueless because she sleeps with everybody, then it doesn't work. But they're not even perspicacious enough to understand this. And by extension, what's actually interesting is if I sleep with a girl now, who wins, me or her? Her.
Her.
I don't get to win. If I go pick up a girl in the club and I bring her back to the house and she does a fucking Instagram story with the Bugatti, with the McLaren, at the mansion, top G, hundreds of millions of dollars. I slept with Andrew Tate. She gets to brag. I don't get to brag that I banged some girl. Okay, yeah, she's hot. But there's so many hot girls. There's millions of hot girls. Who cares? I banged a hot girl. She gets to brag she banged me. She's the one who's getting all the clout. If she's getting all the clout, why am I spending my calories staying up all night fucking her? For what? Why am I giving my masculine energy away to make some bitch famous? I don't want to do that. I don't want to be around any of these degenerate girls. Aiden, do you know how many girls I've caught trying to make sly Instagram stories just because they're sitting next to me, trying to get sly clout?
What do you do when they try to do that?
I tell them to stop because this is the thing. The world and the Matrix has tried to convince everyone that women hate me because I'm misogynist. It's absolutely opposite. Women come up to me and say, you're firstly a real man. You're not like that fucking, who's the guy who wears dresses with long hair on Twitch? Who's obsessed with girls driving better than him?
I don't know how to put in words, but you're good with your fucking words.
Men are not supposed to be comfortable, my
Yeah,
friend.
that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
You're sitting here on Twitch.
I'm comfortable. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You're comfortable, right?
I am.
If you were born 100 years ago and it was the 1920s, you'd be in some ditch in northern France, living in the fucking mud, hoping not to get killed by a random sniper in some bullshit war you barely understand for 4 years. Then you'd come home and hope your wife hasn't been bombed.
Yo,
you understand?
But why?
But that's the world. That's the world. The world has become exceptionally easy for a lot of men. It used to be a different place. Most men were cannon fodder. Most of us would have ended up in wars, dying for fucking no reason.
Damn.
Now we don't have to do that. So because we don't have to do that, men think it's okay to just become comfortable now. You're not supposed to be comfortable. You were never evolved to be comfortable. You're supposed to be uncomfortable.
Right.
And if you find to make yourself uncomfortable constructively, it's very easy to be anything you want. You talk about GTA, Grand Theft Auto. I know the game. I used to play the old one on the PlayStation 1 when I was a child.
Which one?
I haven't played any.
Which one? You talk about San Andreas?
Very first one.
Vice City, GTA 3? Yeah.
Oh, the very, 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 very first one, like 1994.
Okay.
Old school.
Okay.
But I've never played any of those games, but I find it amazing that people will sit there and spend all their time upgrading that character, making as much money as they can, getting the best guns, getting strong, getting some hoes, meeting important people, getting the best car. They'll do all that in a game, but they won't do it in real life. I find that incredible. Like my life is GTA. I don't need to play a game for GTA. If I want a gun, I'll fucking buy it. If I want a car, I'll fucking buy it. I want a bitch, I'll get her. It's me. I am GTA. I don't see why people play the games. They play the games because they're scared of loss. Because if you die in the game, you get another chance. If you lose in the game, you get another chance. In life, you get one shot.
Damn, that's...
But if you get some balls, that's what life is as a game. That's what life is as a man. This is one big video game. You get to upgrade your character. You're not born with any value. All these women that you just put me on with are born with value. They're pretty already. They're gorgeous already. They're good looking enough. Even if they're a 5, someone's going to give a shit they exist because someone wants to fuck them. As a man, if you don't make yourself valuable, you have no value. You have to get up and do it. Just like a video game, you start with fucking 0. You have to decide if you want to complete it. You have to upgrade your character. So I find it amazing that men are going to play video games and fuck about and waste their time instead of upgrading their character. Everyone knows what to do. You know what you have to do.
You're right.
If you had to become the most dangerous, intelligent, respectable man on the planet, you know you're supposed to go to the gym. You know you're supposed to train, learn how to fight. You know all these things. You don't do them. That's your decision. It's your prerogative. I didn't make that choice. I made the choice to do it all. I decided all of that. And every single man watching this can do the exact same thing. Which is why I have very little pity when I do these streams and people think I'm arrogant or I'm rude to people, or even to you earlier when I was making jokes and I've been joking with the girls,
You're
saying
good,
drink the
bro.
soy latte.
I'm not, yeah.
Of course, and I know we're only joking, right? But the point is that's a conscious decision you made. I would never make fun of someone who hasn't got a choice. I wouldn't make fun of someone born with one arm.
I have a choice though.
But if you've made a fucking decision to be less than you should be, then I believe you should be mocked for that decision.
I agree. I feel like,
yeah,
because like you're not living up to your full potential. Like it's your choice to basically not live up to your full potential.
Completely. And me as a man, when I put myself through hell, when I have had such exacting, such stringent standards for myself, why would I then have less exacting, stringent standards on the people I meet?
Damn,
why would I put myself through hell to be me and then meet someone who didn't put themselves through hell and then treat them like my equal? No, fuck you. I suffered when you didn't, so you're not my equal. No, fuck you. I suffered when you didn't, so you're not my equal because you decided not to suffer. You have enjoyed comfort when I haven't, and that's fine, but don't expect me to look at you as my equal because you're not. I'll snap your fucking neck.
Andrew,
that's the world.
Andrew, I have like a lot of friends around me. They're like good friends. Don't get me wrong, like they're real friends, but like they're incredibly like lazy and they have so much potential. Like they could be big, they could be getting rich, all this shit, bro. But like they choose not to. So, but it's really hard because I love them. They're my friends, and I came up with these guys, and they're so entertaining. I love them. They're my brothers, but like,
I understand, but you have to. But there's something that's very always kind of confused me. When I tell people that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, everyone agrees. They go, "Yeah, that's probably true." The 5 people you spend the most time with, that's what you're going to end up like. They say, yeah, that's true. And then they continue to hang around with people who they don't want to be. Why? There has to be a point. There has to be a point where you sit and go, okay, you're my friends, et cetera, et cetera. I love you guys. Yeah, we can talk, whatever. But I'm on a different life path. You have to leave some people behind. You wouldn't want to be, if you were to come hang out with me and you were in a room with me and my 5 friends, you'd feel self-conscious.
You're right.
You don't feel self-conscious with your friends
because you only you only surround yourself around people that are on like your level of like.
I'm with killers. We're fucking monsters. If you were to come hang around with me and my crew, you would be self-conscious, and that self-consciousness would motivate you, or they would certainly instill the discipline required for you to change. You don't feel self-conscious amongst your peers. That's why you don't change. If you were to get in a room and you're the only person who ain't a fucking monster, you'd want to become a monster. That's life. That's humanity. So I say this to people all the time. If you know you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around with, why you hang around with people you don't want to be?
Nah, it's true, bro. I'm gonna tell you why, right? I was Do you know who I Show Speed is?
No.
He's this other creator that's like obviously like in my space. I was staying with him in September, and like I would literally like be on my shit like every day, like grinding, like at what I'm grinding, right? And like when he left, I had like no one around me to basically like kind of like on my like so it
I
shows.
get it.
Yeah.
And that's why I live in a competitive environment. I live with my brother, my cousin. I live with men. We have a big house. We could all afford fucking 10 houses each. We live together on purpose. If my brother does 500 push-ups, I ain't gonna be the bitch at the house. I ain't gonna not do them.
Right.
So that's another reason the war room exists. My organization, the reason it's so competitive is the reason we kick people out. You have to fight to keep.
Even if they pay, you're like, I don't give a fuck. Get out. Like,
I don't give a fuck. Get out. I'll kick them out. It doesn't matter. Everyone pays to join. You get kicked out anyway. You have to fight to keep your place. That's the whole.
Damn.
That's because that's how life was. If we were still in the animal kingdom, the lions that you see on TV, they weren't just born big lions. They had to fight other lions. They had to fight to get that antelope. They had to fight other animals, hyenas, jackals. They had to fight to be the boss. We're living in a comfortable world now where people think, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But you know what? To some degree, it does matter. It does matter. And I'll tell you who it matters to. It matters to your soul and it matters to God. I stand in the mirror with a pure heart. I know I am the best version of me that could possibly ever exist. I know that God is proud of me. There's nothing that God hates more than sloth and laziness. If God were to create a man and that man were to sit around and do fuck all, God will frown upon you. It's why you're never lucky. If you're listening to this and you think I'm never lucky, I'll tell you why. Because God dislikes you because you're fucking lazy. Start to work. Start to show God the beauty of his own creations. You'd be amazed how lucky you'll become.
Wow.
God is unhappy with these people. And inside their hearts, they're unhappy. We talk about depression, anxiety, all those things you mentioned earlier on this podcast. That comes from self-loathing. You loathe your own weakness. You loathe your own laziness. This is what all of these things are. I don't feel depression. How can I feel depression when I'm the most powerful version of me that I could ever fucking be? How can I feel depression when I could squeeze my own hand hard enough to break my own bones? How can I feel depression when I've smashed and destroyed 68 people's faces in front of me, men who thought they could test me in fair combat? How can I feel depressed? It's impossible. Do you understand?
Bro, you got like the best fucking mentality, like brain, like ethic I've ever seen in my fucking life. What the fuck? Everything you're saying is just like that you said is literally facts. I agree with like 100% of everything. So why do we? Okay, here's another question. Do you notice that like human beings naturally we don't care about things until it's gone? Like we don't appreciate what we have until it's gone. Do you know that? You know what I'm trying to say? Like appreciation. Like,
correct.
Why is that? Why do you think that? And do you feel that way? Like, are you very grateful? Are you appreciative of what you have? Like, you know how to speak on that.
Yeah, that's a mental trick. You have to rewire your brain. That's one of the things you have to rewire your brain to do. And the reason your brain needs to be rewired is because anyone who is watching this stream below the age of 30, your brain is already broken. And I'll tell you it's broken. I'll tell you why. Watch your friends when they're on TikTok. How long can they even focus on a video before they have to change? Half a second, a second,
Damn.
maybe. All of your minds are broken. You can't even focus on anything anymore.
You're right.
You are constantly distracted to the point where you can't even appreciate the good things in your life. You're distracted. Your minds are broken. You need to rewire your mind and resist the slave programming.
How?
They have programmed. I'll tell you how. First thing you have to do is identify it. You have to identify what is happening to you. I use my mind to break the trap. What I do is I allow my enemy to manipulate me on purpose. And then I use my mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrators. I will sit on TikTok for a day and I'll just enjoy TikTok. And by the end of the day, I'll watch myself. How quickly I'm looking to be entertained, how little time I give a video, how fucked up I am. And then I'll blink and I'll cure my fucking brain. You must allow yourself to be manipulated and you must fix it. All of it. You just talked about not appreciating the things you have. Then blink and cure your brain. It's a conscious decision. You're letting other people control your mind.
It's all distraction.
The Matrix is trying to control your mind. They're very good at it. That's what they do to control all of us. You have to break the trap. If you cannot control your own mind, let me make this point because it's extremely important. If you cannot control your own mind, then you are just a feather in the wind of life because your own mind is the only thing you can control. You can't control the weather. You can't control other people. You can't even control whether your heart stops beating. You might have a heart attack tomorrow. You can't control anything besides what you think. If you cannot control your own mind, then you go through life with zero control, zero influence. You can't control anything. You're just a feather in the wind, waiting for life to blow you from happy place to sad place to happy place to sad place, completely hoping on the gods to be fortunate to you, because if any genuine discomfort comes your way, you're fucked. It is trained. Like everything else in life, it is trained. So if you find yourself not appreciating what you have until it's gone, then you must blink and cure your brain. If you find yourself unable to focus or concentrate on tasks, you must blink and cure your brain. If you find yourself unable to go and dedicate yourself to something you don't want to do, you must blink and cure your brain. Because all of our minds have been under constant assault for years. The way the mind functions, the way people interact has changed so significantly in the last 10 years you wouldn't believe. If you go to a party today as opposed to a party